Shallow. Some people are just so shallow. They're very simple. Shallow, hallow, holy, hallowed. So many people want to go deep. Did you know no matter how high the mountains go, the valley really never got any deeper? The valley stayed the same elevation. Amazing. Now you could make those mountains high, and they may cast shadows on the valley, and you may call that death. The shadows are cast by death, and sometimes the death is the mountains. And they look up and they wag their heads at you. Did you know that is a great and spacious? Yep. Sometimes it's so easy to make a great and spacious building and you don't even know you're doing it. Here are some head waggers, and I don't want anyone to be offended. Imagine do not be offended. Imagine I grew up in the 80s as a teenager, the San Fernando Valley girl. Now, it's an archetype, it's just an image, but she's always dressed so nicely and so looking down at everyone in high school who's not quite like her, and she's, look at what they're wearing, look at that. And looks at it like she's on a great and spacious. Now here is another one. Mormons. And they're not the only ones. Look at you. If only you would do that. Do you notice that she really doesn't do that very well? You see that valley girl over there? Wow. Well, maybe someday she'll choose the right. And she's saying, maybe someday you'll choose the right shoes. Look at that. And by the way, where did you buy those clothes? And little do you know, you're doing the same thing. Have you ever seen a valley girl cry? It's a sad, sad case. They have feelings too. Now, are you trying to exalt yourself here on earth like the valley girl? Or are you trying to exalt yourself in heaven here on earth? Because both sides, in my opinion, have left. We don't do that. We are meek. We stay in the valley. You're not going to find it on the height of a mountain. You can shout it on the mountains. That's a good place to shout it, but I'll tell you a better place. Jesus knew about it. That soul of David, the Son of God. He told you, we are all one. And he shouted it in the valley, not from the top of a mountain. When you shout it in the valley, it goes up in all directions. They hear it. They hear it. So he descended below all things. Descended. Fine. Descended. Everybody likes to think that they are higher. Did you know there are some terms I've heard in this world since I've been around? And this is not necessarily a Mormon term, but they use it in the world, so Mormons might as well know it too, and I'll just discuss it. There is a term called an ascended master. Supposedly there are ascended masters, and I will not mock them. I do not. But necessarily ascended. How high you are. Some people said David is high, and he fell to the lowest. Some say he was not ready. Ruddy? Oh, he's very ruddy. He has ruddy complexion, and he's very ruddy. But he may not be an ascended master, for here's one thing. There's no greater height than in the valley. Please, do not run the sheep down in the valley. Do not be a goat. Butting heads. Did you know that rams are also ewes? E-W-E, I said. And we say to that ram, you, right there. You too, female sheep. You, and you. It's kind of peculiar the way we say things, huh? We don't need to hit each other with our horns. We are not hard-headed. I will tell you something else, and I am not mocking this at all. At all. Are you going to tell God that if he shaved his beard, he would no longer be God? God might say, are you binding me by that rule? I'm sorry, my friend. I am God. It is possible for me to even not shave too. I do not want to make fun of you. I love beards, I've had them too. But let me tell you something. Sometimes I wonder what kind of archetypical Sumerian god we're serving here. For there were many lords, and they called them the Shining Ones. Some were associated with the phoenix and the lamb, like Enki and Eden, and some are not, and they're associated with serpents and goats. You do not have to grow a beard for that reason. Nevertheless, I won't mock it, but please don't mock those who don't have beards. Sometimes I think that there's a sign in it. You have mandated now I must have a beard. Are you telling me that I need to look like a goat? I am not going to do that. David was a shepherd of sheep, not goats. Goats have beards. And I don't seek the highest of places, he'd say. Neither did the soul of David that you called Jesus. I don't have a beard. But if I grow one, I'll like one. I don't grow it for that reason. If you do, fine. But sometimes I wonder if that is a sign. What are you doing? Are you butting heads? We don't do that. If you follow Allah's messenger, you would not be fighting. Love one another. One, L-E-L, one. There is only one. Are you trying to win instead? All is N-O-W. Now, turn it around. One, W-O-N. Tell me about your war. I hope it's not a warship. I love you. But love one another, A-N in front of the other? A-N is a prefix that says that's not really another, my friend. That's not really another. You are going to be surprised. Surprise, I'm on high. Here's the prize. That was you, you sheep. Wow. I do not like horror movies. I heard about this once in the teacher's lounge and it grossed me out. So, I'm just going to tell you. One man is causing another, and I don't watch these movies. I never watched The Silence of the Lambs. I am not interested in that. Nevertheless, do you know, Hannibal, you are eating your own brain now. Just wait and see. That is your arm. That is your mouth. That is you. And the devil knows it, and he will laugh. That was you, he'll say. And you still don't get it, do you? Who is like that? Sometimes I think you are children of a lesser God, and I hope we learn our lesson. God is more than that, and God is all that is. Separation is, but you're not going to escape it. The Lucifer principle wanted to be infinite. In the finite? Well, in order to be God, you're going to have to be it. But God is all things. You want to be God instead. There are some things that are blocked because we don't worship knowledge instead. Are you sure you want to be all things? Because that will be you. People want to know about things. They go about it and about it. But what is the object you go about? Let me tell you some knowledge. There is knowledge of one that solely thinks it is you right now. And there are those that walk about you and have knowledge all about the subject, but you are the object. God is the object as well. He is not just the subject. God is not trying to collect subjects, the great king that just wants many subjects. He has to be the subject's He is.